Hello artists, it's Mrs. Werfel. This week we will be making a collage inspired by the artist Henri Matisse. Later in his life, it was hard for him to paint because he was more physically disabled. So he took up collage work. He could sit and do what he's called drawing with scissors. So you will need scissors and probably a pencil would be good, some glue, and we will draw with scissors like Henri Matisse did. The elements of art that were really employed were line, in the fact that that's how Matisse created the shapes, and these were colorful pieces of paper that he would use. So let's go ahead, and you can see some that I already started earlier. If you know a little bit about shape, you know that shapes are very often either geometric, like perfect circles or squares, or they're organic, meaning looking natural, like these sort of suggest leaves, don't they? Maybe your shapes are something in between. These sort of look like dinosaurs to me. All right, so I'll set these aside and show you how to make some shapes. You might want to pick a background color, a sheet of construction paper to be the background. So let's see, do I like that? Oh, I like the pop of that. All right, yellow will be my background color, and I will have orange and green shapes layered on top. If you would like to play with symmetry, meaning some similar pieces that are matching up or mirroring each other, like that, you might want to fold your paper in half so that you can cut two at a time. If you'd like to draw a shape or just cut freely, either way works, but I think I'll draw first. Let's see, I'm going to draw something. Ooh, I'm going tricky. I have no idea. That looks a little bit like, I don't know, some sort of rock figure. All right, so I drew that up to the crease. Now your shapes can be a lot simpler than that. I'm just showing you a tricky one because I want to show you something about cutting out. Notice where my scissors are to the paper. The paper is all the way up into the throat of the scissor. I'm also not going to go back and do that tricky little bit right now. I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to continue my cutting, and I'm going to cut that right off the edge. Maybe I want to use that later, so let's set that aside and look at it later. We'll turn, go right up to the throat of the scissors, and cut those away. This might be a little tricky for me to do all of that stuff, so here's what I'm going to do to make it simpler. I'm going to get the basic shape cut out first. I can go about that far and then maybe cross back like that. And now I can take out these other pieces. So let's see, ooh, that's tricky. And my drawing is kind of on the inside. Is that going to be a little challenging? Right? Well, that's a tricky one, huh? Notice how I'm just scooching up into the scissor. And what am I turning? Am I turning the scissors? No, I'm keeping the scissors pointed away from me. That's how I can keep my fingers safe. I'm actually turning the paper as I go. Do you see that? I didn't turn the scissors. I turned the paper. You're right. Okay, and I'm going to not worry about that being exactly perfect because I'm going to use the other side of this. The side with the pencil on it, I'm going to be the glue side. I'm going to use that as the side where the glue is going to go. See how the paper is turning? Not my scissors. My scissors stay pointing away. I picked a really tricky design, didn't I? Tricky, tricky. You might want to start with something simpler than me. I always do tricky stuff. Another way you can keep your fingers safe is by opening the scissors and sliding the paper up into, and tiny bites where it's tricky. So I'm just nibbling, nibble, 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 And when I nibble, I lift and I scooch the paper forward. Now, if you're a younger artist, this might be, you know, a little trickier, but you get better over time. All right, what do I have going on here? Oh my goodness. What have I done? Find the easiest way in. Keep my fingers away from the point of the scissor. Turn the paper. Instead of trying to turn it back, because look at where I'm going to end up, I take and stop and start again. Should I go this way? Nope. I'm going to go this way. I'll try this. And look where my hand is, way out of the way. Like that and like that. And there it goes. Okay? See how that works? So kind of always keep the scissor hand locked in and move the other stuff. Look, I move my hand out here and I'm turning the paper. Go slow. There you go. All right, now these are still attached. I might want to keep them attached like that, so go ahead and open it up and decide if you like that, or you could separate these into two separate pieces. I think I might keep this together, and maybe this will be some sort of fantasy landscape. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Let's see, do I like it this way or this way? Ooh, decisions. And look how the colors pop against each other. Maybe I'll go this way, and then I can plant these like trees, like that. And I am going symmetrical in my design. Oh, this looks like a little, don't these look like dinosaurs? And this looks like a little sea creature. Okay, do I have anything else fun? Maybe I won't be symmetrical. Maybe I'll save these pieces for something else, and I'll make this look like a dinosaur scene. There we go, like that. And maybe this is some sort of little, I don't know, giant slug and a tiny dinosaur. That could be fun. And let's see, what does that look like? It looks like trash, doesn't it? Sometimes your leftover bits, ooh, this is an interesting one. So that's some leftover stuff, but that's kind of pretty. Let's see, what can I make out of that? Maybe that's some sort of, doesn't that look like a flowers of some kind? Maybe I will make that. Let's take one of these. And maybe make a couple leafy things and turn that into some sort of, I don't know, some sort of flower bud or something. That's interesting, isn't it? Maybe I'll put something orange underneath that. And overlap. Let's bring this guy on top of that plant. Something like that maybe might be fun. All right, so now you get to play with composition and how these things are arranged. Maybe I need a little bit, maybe I need a piece of another color to add a little detail to this. All right, now how do you glue these things down? I have a technique for everything, and I have techniques for gluing too. So I like to have, now you use trash. I don't want to use any nice paper to do this, but to make it easier for you to see, I will. I like to put the glue down on the back of the piece. And let's see, we're going to go with this one first. So I need to make sure I have the back side up, and I'm going to put that off onto the side of my paper here and open up my glue stick and a little glue right across. Do you see how I went away? I clamped the paper down and then I went like that away. Now there's extra glue getting on the paper underneath. Move your finger and just tippy tip fingertip, hold that and drag down. It's important for you to hold the paper still so that so it doesn't get rumpled up. You know how sometimes if you go back and forth with a glue stick, it'll wrinkle the paper? Pull away from where you have it clamped. Now watch what's going to happen. When I pick my finger up, my paper comes with it. My collage piece comes with. Don't fiddle around with this. Now this paper, move it to the side where it's safe. Bring this in, and let's see, I want to place it here, and this guy's going to be in front, so we'll move that. I see a little bloop of glue right there. Rub it away so it dries off, and now glue side down, just gently press it first, and then gently iron back and forth on that a couple times. So I put that down first because it's far away. Give that a nice pressing, gently. Don't pick at the edges because those will come up. So gently rub. And now same thing. Let's bring my paper back. And back side, let's find a clean spot on my paper, my gluing paper, and clamp it down and go away, away, away. And look how handy this glue stick is with the color. You can see where you put it. Move your finger, sorry about the shadow, and pull away from where you're clamping it down. Then you pick it up so it's attached to you. Move this one out of the way and come in and glue that. Will make this some interesting sort of plant like that. And then gently iron it. Look at, there's no glue sticking to the top. Now, if you're a younger artist, this part might be a little trickier. If you're new to gluing, this part might be trickier. It takes time and practice like all things. So give yourself that time to get better at it. I want to show you good techniques, but you have to know I've been doing this for this type of gluing, and this technique I developed like 30 years ago. I've been doing this so long. Move this out of the way. So if you can imagine how many hundreds of hours and hundreds of pieces I have glued down, you can kind of understand why I make it look easy right now, right? You will get better at it too. All right, so I've got some sort of cool tree. I will do this with all of my parts, and I'll work from the back to the front. The top piece is the last thing to glue on, and I will post a picture of this at the end of the video so you can see it.